Prime Minister, our main aim in this short video is to mitigate any economic downturn within the business in this large northern city. Our main concerns are lack of manpower within the city, fluctuation of market prices due to consumer disengagement, volatility of the stock market, and risk to import and export of goods. There is a consistent correlation between the start of fatal disease outbreak and dramatic stock market drop. The last major disease that saw people in the United Kingdom panic was the Ebola virus scare. This led to the Dow plummeting as much as 370 points. This obvious link between market volatility and the fear of disease is simply too great to ignore. With fear mounting within the Northern Powerhouse, it is vital that we as a government act with obvious decisiveness. If we are seen pondering or providing misinformation, the stock market could take a crash unlike one we have seen since 2008. In response to the events of the recent days, my instruction to government will be twofold. Number one would be to stabilise the banking system. If the public believes that their assets are as safe as possible, then their behaviour is likely to remain unchanged. Often, London takes huge notice of growing trends that start in the north, as often the north represents the feeling and sentiment of the working class. The stock market won't take a huge hit, and as London starts to offload shares at a high rate. My second piece of advice would be to work with large companies that have bases in Sheffield. If we can continue to get these to act normally, then we can reduce the effect this disease will have on a national basis. This particularly would apply to Ernest V. Waddington Limited, a large seller of sanitary products, worth around 42 million. If we can have a multi-million pound company consistently moving helpful produce around the city, this purveys a feeling of order and sanity.
The services industry is Sheffield's biggest sector, with more than 80% of the workforce employed in this area. This industry includes healthcare, retail and public transport, all of which are areas that are particularly vulnerable to the spread of diseases. As the pandemic progresses, it is likely that employees of Sheffield's largest economic agents, such as SID and Sheffield City Council, will be unable to work, consequently causing further disruption to Sheffield's economy. In order to maintain financial and social stability, it is vital that employers take action to minimise the effects of the pandemic on their workforce. These actions should include planning for increased employee absences. It may be useful to prepare a pool of additional workers and cross-train existing staff to try to maintain levels of productivity as far as possible. Minimise face-to-face contact, for example, allow staff to work from home where possible and replace meetings with video or teleconference calls. In such outbreaks, it is crucial to follow NHS guidelines on preventing the spread of disease. These guidelines should be incorporated into business policies reducing the spread of influenza, for example, coughing and sneezing etiquette, and asking employees with symptoms of the flu to stay at home. Review return to work policies based on government advice specific to the pandemic. Staff should only return to work when they are no longer infectious.
So for now, one of the most urgent issues we face might be the export and import commodities in Sheffield, as it would be a resource that may spread the virus to elsewhere. However, if we totally cut export commodities to control the transmission of virus, it will lead to a catastrophic consequence to the local economy, that in particular, the agriculture product industry in the whole Sheffield region. As far as we know, the whole procedures of exporting agriculture products of the UK, regardless within the EU or outside the EU, still lacks strict sanitary guarantees. Under this circumstance, it has large potential to be a source that transmits the virus even further, thus may cause a global panic. Therefore, I would suggest to the British government that a special structural sanitation program for all the export agricultural products in Sheffield to isolate the virus from other regions within the UK and the other countries, even though there's no need to have that strict certificate to guarantee the sanitary under the free market scales. Also for the other regions in UK, it is essential to build a strict sanitation processes for both export and import agricultural commodities, because the virus comes from outside the UK. To sum up, this treatment would efficiently control the transmission of virus within Sheffield and other regions in the UK.
Pandemics pose a huge risk to disrupting consumer patterns here and, by extension, risk fluctuation of market prices of goods and services all over the world. Both national and local businesses are in need of government support in this crisis in an attempt to minimise the impact of this pandemic on the economy, because the effects will survive far past the defeat of the disease. Consumer engagement will be affected by public suspicion and hysteria, particularly concerning interaction in public spaces such as supermarkets and other public shopping facilities. The fast-growing retail industry in Sheffield is therefore threatened by this. Contingency plans are necessary to make sure these shops buying and selling produce, such as clothing, are not oversupplied. Therefore, they will need as accurate as possible consumer pattern predictions in light of this illness. Managing cash flow is significant, particularly if suppliers are pulling out as a result of the emergency. But a sudden decline in consumer engagement can leave especially small businesses without enough credit to pay its expenses and risk possible bankruptcy. The threat of contamination will affect most notably food consumption patterns, as well as likely fears for medical supplies. Therefore, my advice to businesses and corporations in both Sheffield and the nation is to act normally and reassure consumers, put measures in place to ensure the safety of your products from potentially distant suppliers. A scandal will hugely affect fears and uncertainty.